Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Plague Inc. Evolved. We are almost done with this series. After a lot of work, I was able to get Nanovirus on Mega Brutal done. And honestly, I can't even tell you a steady strategy. Uh, I had to, I mostly just recommend you check out you try some tutorials online yourself, but I started in Southeast Asia. I heavily focused on water. I heavily focused on uh, getting all of these up because there was just some islands I never got. And I think I started with just these two because they were free. Uh, very quickly got these two up, and then this up to slow down the cure. But you only want to get this one after the cure is a certain percentage up, because it makes the cure go back down. I got this, I got this, I got this. I got cold resistance as I normally would. More than half the country, half the world was infected by the time I did Replicator Factory Overload. I may have tossed some into rash and sweating, kind of trying to push towards necrosis. I may have spent some DNA towards like coughing or nausea if I had some extra ones just to increase infectivity. Eventually I would have gotten up to this point, but most of the other symptoms were just random symptoms. I got to a certain point where people were dying faster, and I had to just go back to the symptoms and take symptoms off. So I at one point, I'm pretty sure I took necrosis off and this off, and so many people were dead at a certain point I could just take these off and not risk the cure ever being found. And I just started lowering and lowering the lethality as much as I possibly could. So let's see. When you get back down to this level, the lethality is 0. So, and yeah, I reduced the lethality and just had to wait a pretty long time to get some non-human infections of some of the countries, and I had the infectivity really high, and I lucked into it for the most part. So sorry there's no real tutorial there. I really just didn't remember it, and it was about the 20th time that I had played the game before I won, and I just wasn't paying attention. Anyways, that's not what we're doing today. We only have 2 more on Biohazard, on Mega Brutal, and that pretty much means we're probably going to get them all done. So, ATP boost and Aquasite. I am still getting pushed to the same website. What could I do? I guess I could try and click some links lower, but apparently I'm too stuck in my ways. And pathostasis, ATP boost, Aquasite, genetic mimic. Okay, so that's the setup the tutorial wants on Mega Brutal. Still haven't unlocked all the things. We really do have to do them on Mega Brutal. And we're gonna call this the Mega, is it Bio weapon with a space. See, a dash. Yeah, I don't know when you dash and when you space on some of these things. Bioweapon. Mega bioweapon. Here we go. So, again, this is an old thing. It's telling me something to evolve something I can't even evolve. I imagine this site did have the right solutions. It's just that the right solutions has changed. So it's telling me to start in India, which is new, at least. And then it wants us to get gene compression 1 and 2 and 3, and then deactivated modified genes 1 as soon as you have the DNA. So this is the next thing we want for 5. It says to activate this when it starts killing people. And then activate this if it starts killing people again. And then there's a whole bunch of symptoms I have to keep an eye on too. So first things first, we gotta wait for some 5 DNA. Alright, there's 5 DNA. It wants me to start working on symptoms in the meantime. How fast do I want to play today? It's kind of early in the morning. I can feel that I'm not very woken up. See, coughing, abscesses, cysts. Goldman Stanley bank crisis. Let's see, coughing. So we're gonna stay mostly on the world view and just see if somebody starts dying. Because on the bioweapon, it is very much just always increasing in lethality. So much so that it can't function. Sneezing, let's see, for 8. Sneezing, cysts, we already have. And it wants hypersensitivity and abscesses. Okay. We would probably be killing people already if we hadn't done gene compression. Need 1 more DNA. Alright, now it wants me to work in a specific order. Water and air 1 and 2 for 9. So let's speed up a little bit. I think we can handle this. most of the game, when it's slow, can be played on fast forward. It's only when you start hitting the spreading of the disease and get like 20 bubbles up is really a problem. And with the spaceball trick of pausing the game, plus the pop-ups pausing the game for you, you can pretty much handle that too. Alright, it's starting to kill people. We need some DNA. We got 50,000 dead, so let's reset that lethality. Extreme bioaerosol is the next thing they want for 20. Still haven't gotten the lethality down, so we need transmission, just generally speaking, as fast as possible to spread this thing. Now the one thing, if you hit spacebar while the screen is back here, it will actually unpause it. Drug resistance 1 and 2. That'll cost 11. Drug resistance 1. Let's see. Drug resistance 2 for 26. Cure is still at 0, so. Cold resistance 1 and 2. That's cold resistance 1 and 2. Then heat resistance 1 and 2. I wouldn't think you really needed heat resistance 1 or 2, and then it wants me to get environmental hardening. I would think that would be unnecessary. People are dying. Let's take a moment to reduce the lethality again. Environmental hardening. Now, finally, we get to genetic hardening 1 and 2. Cure is popping here. We can see. And now it wants nucleic acid neutralization 1, 2, and 3. Is it really telling me just to... And my phone goes off, so... It's really telling me just to do all this. Set lethal potential weapon will take time to regenerate. It's saying do all those right then. And then... It just says wait till everybody's infected and then unleash the annihilate gene. It says I can do genetic reshuffles. I can do paralysis and things like that later. Which afterwards to make it... I mean, it looks like the world is about completely infected. Is there any country? Greenland and Sweden. Greenland here, there, and Sweden there. Just wait. Paralysis mutated, well that helps that. guess we're just gonna watch the world get infected. Experimental cure lethal. Feels like I should be doing something to slow this down. This seems really silly. I mean, how much does this cost? 19? Sweden is the problem. Look, I can't just abide sitting here. This is ridiculous. Let's do this. Oh shoot. I mean, the cure is about to happen. And just then, I need 19 to activate the Annihilate disease. Give me one more thing. Alright, so this isn't gonna work, but this would have worked. If we had not followed instructions and hadn't had insomnia, paranoia, if we had put some DNA into those, and if we had put one into the bird, because getting Sweden infected was difficult, we would have gotten this done. It did tell me to do genetic reshuffles, didn't it? Maybe that would have worked if I'd followed instructions. Maybe I screwed up by not following instructions. That's a possibility. I mean, maybe a genetic reshuffle would have given it just enough time. Well, that was 480 days for complex, 100% bioweapon, and we got 69 points in with biohazard. Nothing really to show there. That's alright. I'm feeling pretty confident I'll be able to do this offline using that same strategy. And then next time we'll be doing the simian flu. And simian flu will be a little weird because if we don't get it done on the first try, then we'll have to, I'll come back with an episode after that. After I get it done offline, and then we'll look at the cheats for the final episode and wrap up the series. Otherwise, if I do get this beat on the next episode, I think we'll just wrap up the series then. Anywho, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, I've not been good about beating these on Mega Brutal in front of you. I have to admit that it's been terrible, but what can I say? You saw my honest first attempt, and then I have been explaining what I did. You did see me beat some of them on Mega Brutal, so you should at least know that I can do it. Even though it is quite difficult to do when you're talking and reading and playing a game all at the same time. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can do that by clicking on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. And if you want to friend or follow me, you can click on the links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.